Hello and welcome. So, today we're going to talk about money, but probably not in the way you're used to. We're not just going to look at numbers, we're going to create a map, a really clear, simple guide to help you find your way with your finances and feel good about it. Let's think of this as your own personal money map.
But before we even start drawing that map, let's just pause for a second. When you think about your money, about your finances, how does it actually really make you feel? Go ahead, take a moment and be honest with yourself. What's the very first word that comes to mind?
If words like stressed or confused or maybe overwhelmed just popped into your head, I really want you to hear this. You are absolutely not alone. Financial anxiety is so common, it's something that keeps so many of us up at night. But here's the good news. It really doesn't have to be that way.
This right here, this really captures the journey we're about to start. On one side, you've got financial fear, and that's that feeling of being trapped, right? Feeling uncertain, always just reacting to bills as they come in. But on the other side, we have financial freedom, and that's about having choices. It's about having enough saved, enough invested to actually live the life you really want. Our goal is to build a bridge from that fear right over to freedom.
So, how do we find our way through all that fog? Well, we start with a compass. And in the world of money, our compass is something called financial literacy. Now, don't let that term scare you. It's not about complicated spreadsheets or Wall Street jargon. It's just about knowing which direction you're headed. Let's just break it down. Financial literacy is simply the ability to understand and use financial skills. See, it's not about becoming some kind of expert. It's about feeling empowered to handle your own money with clarity. It's about making decisions that are smart, yeah, but that also feel right to you. That's where real confidence comes from.
And what's cool is that every money map, no matter who you are, really just has four main directions. Think of them like north, south, east, and west. First, you got budgeting and saving. That's your foundation. Then there's managing debt, which is all about clearing the path ahead. You've got investing for the future. That's how you build real momentum. And finally, protecting yourself, making sure you're ready for anything. If you can get a handle on these four, you'll never feel lost. Okay, so knowing the directions is one thing, but taking that first step, that's when the journey actually begins. So let's shift gears now from just knowing what to do to actually doing it. This is how we start to feel that control and build some real momentum. Here are three simple but honestly incredibly powerful actions you can start with. First, track your spending. You can't manage what you don't measure, right? Second, pick a simple budget. Don't overcomplicate it. And third, automate your savings. These three little habits, they're the bedrock of taking back control. And speaking of a simple budget, let's talk about one of the most popular ones out there, the 50-30-20 rule. It's a fantastic place to start just because it's so straightforward. And notice, it's based on your after-tax income. That's the actual money that lands in your bank account, which is the only number that really matters. This chart just lays it out perfectly. The idea is that 50% or half of your take-home pay goes to your absolute needs. We're talking rent, mortgage, utilities, groceries. Then 30% is set aside for your wants. The fun stuff. Eating out, hobbies, entertainment. And here's the most important part. A solid 20% goes straight to your financial goals. That's savings and paying down debt. Now look, is this rule perfect for everyone? Of course not. If you live somewhere expensive, your needs might be more than 50%. The key is to use this as a guide, a starting point, and then tweak it to fit your actual life. Now let's zone in on that 20%. The single most powerful way to make sure you actually save it is to automate it. This is the whole idea of paying yourself first. Before you pay rent, before you pay any other bill, you set up a transfer to move that money into your savings account right on payday. It just happens. It makes saving consistent and totally effortless. So where does that automated savings go? The very first stop is your emergency fund. And to make this feel totally doable, let's set a really concrete first goal. Just $500. That's it. That small amount of cash is your first little buffer against life's surprises, and trust me, it's a huge step toward feeling financially secure. All right, so once you've got that small emergency fund started and your budget is starting to take shape, you can begin to look a little further down the path. Now we can start talking about the next exciting spots on our map, tackling debt, and then making our money start to work for us through investing. It's so important to understand that not all debt is the same. There's good debt, like a mortgage, which helps you buy an asset that can grow in value. And then there's bad debt. That's usually the high-interest stuff on things that don't hold their value, like credit card debt.
Paying that stuff off is one of the best returns on your money you can get. The best strategy, whether it's paying off the smallest debt first or the one with the highest interest, is simply the one you'll actually stick with. And now for the really exciting part, making your money grow. This happens through what feels like magic, but it's very real: compound interest. All it means is that your money starts making its own money, so your interest starts earning interest. It might seem slow at first, but over time, it creates this incredible snowball effect that can totally transform your wealth. And this chart shows you exactly what that snowball looks like in action. You can see the growth in the first few years. It's okay, it's modest. But then look at what happens after 10 years, and especially after 20 years. The growth just takes off. This shows us something so important. Time is your most powerful tool when it comes to building wealth. It's not about being a genius, it's about being patient. We've covered the compass, we've taken the first few steps. Now we get to the most important part of all, drawing your map. Because a map is pretty useless if you don't have a destination, right? This is all about defining what you're even doing this for. So I want you to really think about this question and forget what social media says, forget what anyone else thinks. What does financial peace actually mean to you? Is it being debt-free? Is it being able to travel whenever you want? Or maybe it's just the quiet security of knowing you're going to be okay. Your answer to that question, whatever it is, that is your destination. That's the big X on your treasure map. This is your why. And that's the motivation that's going to keep you going when it gets tough and guide every single decision you make from here on out. And with that, we've sketched out the first draft of your money map. The journey from here is all yours, and you can take it one step at a time. Reminding you, mastery begins with awareness.